So turn and face either way. I find I have more room at the front of the mat, but back up about halfway and cross your right ankle over your left knee like a figure four. And stick your bum out as you bow forward and push your foot into your hand. So left hand to right foot, and scoop your tailbone so that you can feel your back body nice and lengthy. And then here, it's nice to work in as small as you can, really getting your armpits on your shin, and then place your hands forward, lean forward, and stretch. So you might stay here. That's okay. Okay. It's actually good to make yourself balance. Okay. Cross your left ankle over the right knee. Work the foot here. So it's a dorsiflex. Okay. Spreading the toes. Bend your knee, bottom knee, and then work on in, pushing your right hand into your left foot into the right hand. And again, if you tend to be pretty open, watery, fluid in your body, scoop your tailbone to ignite the inner fire. And that's going to keep things balanced. And again, work so that you're hooking your foot around your upper arm and really getting it as tightly as possible. It's this quality called anima. It's the ability for the yogini to make herself as tiny as possible, kind of getting in between the frames of life, planting her full awareness into the seeds that she seeks to bring to life in order for mahima. And that's getting as big as possible, recognizing that the whole universe is you. And then what I didn't do on the first time, let's do it this one. Slowly come up to standing. And then release. Shake it out a little bit. If you want to repeat that, you can, since you're at home. And otherwise, I'm going to move the mat back a little bit just because we've slid a bit. And we'll meet back at the front of the mat to come down, get a little stretch in the quads, the front of the body. Do some basic work here at the end before we close it out. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, bow forward. Just staying, again, steadily connected to your own center. And what does it feel like here? To engage your midline, but push your thighs back and apart so that your tailbone has room to scoop. This will make you feel really long in the backs of the legs. Inhale, stretch your heart forward. And with your exhale, step your right leg back to lunge. And bending your right knee, take hold of the inner foot. Now I have to work really hard to not let this right thigh collapse forward. Okay, so do what you need to do to be balanced. And work into a little quad stretch. Or a big one. If this is too much, okay, for right now, I really love the twisted mother option. So I'm having some low back stuff go on, which will take some time for me to play with. I'm just going to do this one, okay? Again, we want the top of the back leg thigh to move back. And then with your exhale, release. Let's switch sides. So just coming through down dog or uttanasana. And same thing, you might bend the back knee, take hold of the inner foot. Or if twisted mother seems like a more appropriate option, you're going to go there. Deep breaths into your low belly, low back. And with your exhale, release. Okay. Come on down to hands and knees and then to your front body. And we'll do a couple, we'll do a nice quad stretch here. So rise up to your forearms and looking back over your right shoulder, hi, bend your right knee and take hold of your inner foot. If you can only get your outer foot, that's fine. You can also use a belt. And then play here with spreading your toes. Push your foot back into your hand, scoop your tailbone. The more you scoop your tailbone, the more you can lengthen your low back here and really pull your low belly in and up, getting more length through the front of the body. And exhale, release that. Just check the back leg, make sure it's nice and lined up, and then switch over to the left side. We do want both hip points here touching the floor. So of course the left leg, left hip point will want to lift because that's the quad that's getting stretched. And the quads like to avoid getting stretched, I have found. So just be careful. Keep both hip points down. Stay steady, clear, true. Exhale, release. And then you can take some windshield wipers here. All right, stretching your legs towards straight. See that there's the same amount of space between each outer foot and the mat. One more last cobra. So hug your legs and stick your bum out, and then really powerfully scoop your tailbone, engage the glutes to pull your heart forward. With your exhale, lower down. Tucking your toes, stretch back. We're not going to go all the way back to down dog. Say from here, walk your knees forward. You might cross your ankles and have a seat. Okay, I'll face you now for Upavishta Konasana. So take your legs out to the side. In this pose, we want the legs anywhere from 120 to 180 degrees. 180 is a bit much. I mean, then we're actually going into Samakonasana, full sideways split range. So maybe 120 to 160, okay? And just have to feel what works for you, but I do recommend spinning your inner thighs, your inner calves toward the floor, okay? Doing that on each side. And then feeling your sitting bones and ground them down. So it's kind of like the Tai Chi masters that can be unmovable even if they weigh 140 pounds or 130 pounds. So it's this quality of heaviness. That quality is called garima. Garima. We want to get really heavy in the low body, okay, so that we can get spacious and light, lagima, in the upper body. So grounding your thighs down, lift up through your heart, and with your exhale, either you'll tip forward. This might be enough for you. If you have a hard time keeping your low back in and up, and this tends to happen like a rounding, you're going to push your hands behind you into the earth to lift up, tip forward. If that's not your issue, you can come forward, but do continue scooping your tailbone. Inhale, come a pathway. Hug your legs for the midline, scoop your tailbone, and exhale, bow in a little more. What are you calling forth? What seeds are you planting deep within so that the universe can help you bring them to life in just the right ways? Bringing your feet back to the midline. We'll go Baddha Konasana. line up the four corners of your feet. So big toe mounds, inner heels, baby toe mounds, outer heels. Rise up, and with your exhale, bow forward again. Keep stretching from your pelvis out along your femurs, so that lowers them toward the floor. You can be steady there. And instead of holding your feet and pulling them up, keep pushing the baby toe mounds down. We don't ever want to pull the feet up like this because it can bind the groins and the knees. We don't want to open the knees. We want to open the hips. Inhaling, lengthen, rise up. And then bringing your legs to the midline. Just stretch them out, shake them out, bounce them out. Windshield wiper them out. Good, and then here, grab a block, okay? And this is one of my favorite poses. It's block shoulder stand. So we'll work from bridge, all right? You're going to have the block handy, but it's really important here to get your shoulder blades on your back so none of your vertebrae are touching the floor. And then pulling your feet back, isometrically lift your hips up and place the block under you. Now, if this is too high, you can just put it down to there. You're going to place the block on the sacrum and then take the knees up and stretch your legs straight. And so this is just a nice supported shoulder stand. Actively work your feet, your legs. And I imagine a waterfall of heavenly energy, so a cosmic waterfall moving down along my feet, the Ida, the Pingala nadis, even though they don't come down that far energetically, they do. The Sushumna nadi through the legs, and it just washes all the way over the whole body. Really bathing the organs in energy, so the energy of your breath, the cosmic energy of Shakti, and especially the thyroid and thymus here become nourished and supported. So we'll stay here a couple minutes. Now if you're doing full shoulder stand, it's okay, but the tendency is to compress the neck. So I do recommend that you have 2 blankets or more, 2 or 3, and that your neck is totally supported. We don't want any vertebrae touching the floor. So if your neck is flattening, it's not good. You just want to be sweet with yourself, be steady with yourself. Yoga is about the means and the end. It's about the process. And so we, like spiritual warrioresses, honor every step of the process, even if it's painful, especially if it's painful. What are we being called to? And with your next exhale, bend your knees, place your feet on the floor, and then pushing down, lift up and remove the block. Just place it off to the side, allowing your sacrum to settle. And then begin to make your way into Shavasana. Set yourself up so that you are well supported and you can actually look and see that your body is placed well. With your next few rounds of breath, with an inhale, breathe in through your nose and exhale through your mouth, letting go of all effort. Just feeling your body resting, supported by the earth. Notice if any part of your body feels like it needs to unwind. With each exhale, let go a little more fully. So the spiritual warrior is humble and stays connected. She knows what supports her, what energy is keeping her enlivened and animated and able to do what she's doing in her life and in the world. This energy of Mahashakti that sings everything to life, dances everything to life. So allow yourself to rest into this embrace of the Mahashakti. I invite you to stay here as long as you need to. At least for 7 minutes. And I will say to you, what an honor and a blessing it's been so far to get to participate in this yoga and evolutionary astrology and meditation journey with you, this cosmically aligned journey. And may we continue to align ourselves with that force of life that is revelatory, that is magical, that is alive and awake within each and every experience that we have. May we courageously embody this force in all the ways that we are called to. I'm so grateful that you are doing what you're doing on the planet. I bow to you and to your warrioress heart. From my heart to yours, namaste.